Imagine packing up your laptop or retiring early and moving to a pristine tropical coastline where your dollars stretch so far you barely have to look at a bank account. That destination actually exists in Quy Nhon, Vietnam. Here, a modern apartment leases for around $300 a month, and you can sit down to a multi-course local meal for $1.50. The geography backs up the fantasy. Central Vietnam offers striking, untouched peninsulas with the kind of white sand and clear turquoise water people usually pay premium resort prices to see. A couple can live comfortably here for about $1,200 a month total. Yet, if you walk down the street, you will quickly notice something missing. There are virtually no foreign expats. Quy Nhon is an extreme anomaly. Destinations this cheap and this beautiful rarely stay empty for long, which means there is a very specific reason the global expat community hasn't moved in. Most people who move abroad look for what's called a soft landing city. These are destinations where the local culture and infrastructure have steadily adapted to accommodate Western habits. Take a place like Da Nang, slightly further up the coast. It has massive, developed infrastructure, dedicated expat neighborhoods, and plenty of familiar comforts. Quy Nhon has retained its quiet, hazy coastlines and empty sands, precisely because it has not been commodified for international tourists. Living on this budget requires an aggressive trade-off. You give up the curated infrastructure of a major hub in exchange for a lifestyle that is entirely unfiltered local. The first compromise is physical. Pristine beaches in this part of the world come with intense daytime heat, regularly sitting at 94 degrees Fahrenheit. You cannot fight the weather. If you live here, you adopt the siesta lifestyle, no matter what your schedule used to look like back home. By midday, the city becomes a ghost town. Everyone retreats indoors to the air conditioning, pushing daily activity to the early mornings and late afternoons. But as the sun sets, the city reemerges. Families fill the Founders Park with activity, while the night markets flood with vendors and local shoppers. Choosing to live in Quy Nhon means surrendering your personal routine entirely to the dictates of the local environment. The second compromise happens at the dinner table. You get incredible culinary value, but you lose almost all of your Western safety nets. You can easily find yourself sitting down to massive, delicious local seafood feasts, ordering complex vegetarian dishes, and drinking local beers that cost exactly 33 cents. But when you inevitably crave a slice of pizza, a decent steak, or eggs Benedict on a Sunday morning, you are largely out of luck. Those comforts simply do not exist here in any recognizable form. Furthermore, English is rarely spoken. Getting through a transaction requires a heavy reliance on digital translation apps, pointing, and nonverbal cues. They are mandatory for daily survival. Expats face a strict binary choice here. Fully adapt your palate and how you communicate to match the locals, or spend every day frustrated. This chart shows a frugal couple's budget in Quy Nhon. $1,190 covers a $300 apartment, local food, and basics. Even a $2,300 middle-range budget, adding a larger apartment, scooter, and craft beer, costs significantly less than any Western city. But the numbers on the spreadsheet mask a severe structural problem for anyone trying to stay long-term. Foreigners cannot legally own land in Vietnam. The best you can do is sign a 50-year lease on a condo, an asset that steadily loses value every year until it expires completely. Compounding that is the visa situation. Vietnam offers no formalized retirement visa. To stay legal, roughly 80% of expats have to physically leave the country and re-enter on a new visa every 90 days. Achieving financial freedom on this coast requires accepting a life built on permanent bureaucratic instability. Ultimately, a move to Quy Nhon serves as a mirror for an expat's true priorities. If you need a network of English-speaking friends, international hospitals, and imported groceries, you belong in a developed hub. Quy Nhon is exclusive to those who want to live surrounded by raw Vietnamese culture and local history, without the buffer of the expat bubble. The staggering low prices are not a discount waiting to be exploited. They're simply the local rate, available only to those willing to live a strictly local life. You should never pack up your life and move across the world based purely on a spreadsheet of living costs. You have to put your own boots on the ground. Visit during the hottest part of the day. Try to order a meal without your native language, and see if the reality matches your tolerance. In Quy Nhon, Authenticity is incredibly cheap in dollars, but it demands everything you have in personal adaptability.